Hey everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. So if you are practicing with me in real time, we are headed back to the classroom in just a couple of days. So this practice is really great for prepping the body for back to school, to get the energy flowing and just to feel good. So for my teacher friends out there, feel free to use this practice whenever you feel like the students may need a little bit of a body break. All right, let's get started. Okay friends, we begin today's practice standing nice and tall. So our feet will be a little bit wider than our hips. Our hands will come to rest at our sides, palms facing forward, so that way we can really roll our shoulders open, creating a little bit more space here, finding our mountain pose. So I invite you to picture a mountain in your head. And perhaps you use this picture to help you stand a little bit taller here. All right. When we breathe on in through our nose, feel the cold air rushing into our body. And then when we breathe out through our nose, feel the warm air leaving the body. 2 more times just like that. Breathe on in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Great, we're going to take some neck circles now. So let's just begin by drawing really small circles with our nose. And then the circles start to get a little bit bigger. And bigger. And bigger. Until eventually we reach a point where we reverse our circle, so we're going in the opposite direction. Our circle is still big, but we're still going nice and slow. And then the circle becomes a medium-sized circle. And then eventually a smaller circle until our head is back over our center. Let's bring our fingers to our shoulders. Let's bring our elbows together. You can imagine that there's glue attached to your arms, keeping them together. Then let's send our elbows up towards the sky, arching through our back body and looking on up. And then we break free, looping those elbows back around and down. 2 more times just like that. So bringing the elbows together, up, and then break free. 1 more. Together, up, and break free. Wonderful. Allow the hands to float on down. Bring your hands out in front of you. Interlace your fingers so you can think bubblegum hands. And on our next breath in through our nose, let's send our hands up towards the sky and then breathe out through your nose here. All right, let's send our pointer fingers up towards the sky. So it's these fingers right here. Up towards the sky. Breathe in. And then when you breathe out through your nose, let's begin to tilt towards the left side. Perhaps when you do this action, you notice that the hip kind of goes to the right. Both feet are still planted on the earth. Breathe here, my friends. Breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out through the nose to come back to center. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And then on your next breath out, we tilt on over towards the right side, feeling a beautiful stretch in our side body, in our ribs. So right on in here. Breathe in. And then breathe on out to rise and come back to center. So whenever I'm in this pose, I tend to imagine that either like I'm a diver, I'm about to jump off a diving board or a rocket ship. So let's have that image in our mind as we reach on up towards the sky. We come up onto our tiptoes. We are here for 3, 2, and then on the 1, we blast off. Woo! Hands coming back to our sides, coming back down to the earth. My goodness, wasn't that fun? All right, So for this next movement, we're gonna need a little bit of space. So especially if you're doing this in a classroom, you want to make sure that you have a lot of room so that way we're not accidentally bumping one of our classmates, one of our friends. So let's just send our hands from left to right and just do this action. Okay, just to make sure that we're not gonna accidentally bump anyone. So our hands can come back down. We're all gonna be loosey-goosey. We're gonna bend our knees a little bit here, and we're gonna twist towards the left side. So our upper body, from here to here, we're twisting to the left, and then over to the right. So keep this action going. Twisting. Nice and slow, and then perhaps when you feel ready, we can pick up the pace. And what I mean by that is we go a little bit faster, and maybe a little bit faster. I know this may feel silly, may look silly, but it's so much fun. Embrace it, give it a try. Maybe you notice that the hands are kind of like flying out a little bit more. Taking up a little bit more space. It's a good way to boost the mood, to turn that frown upside down. All right, and we are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then let's just begin to slow it down on the 1, nice and slow, coming back to center. Send your right hand out in front of you. Imagine that you're about to give someone a high five, but we're not going to do that right now. Spread your fingers nice and wide, feeling that stretch in our hand. Now close the fingers and then open. So keep that action going. You can kind of think like fireworks or sparks. Shake it off. And then send the left hand out now. Imagining that we're about to give someone a high five. We spread through those fingers. Oh, good stretch, especially if we've been writing all day. And then you close the fingers and then out. And then we do this firework action. And then we shake it off, as my friend T Swift would say. And that would be pretty cool if we were friends, but we're not. Maybe one day. All right, friends. So we are going to be doing a little bit of balancing. So what I like to do whenever I enter a balancing pose is I like to hold on to a focal point out in front of me. So that could be a mark on the wall, it could be an object, or anything that is useful to help me stay upright without falling over. But of course, if we fall over, it's all good. Just get right back on up. All right, let's lift our right foot away from the earth, bending at our knee, interlace our hands, and then wrap our hands around our shin, so just below our knee, and then lift our knee on up towards our chest. Staying nice and lifted here, doing our best to keep our balance. Feel free to rotate through your ankle. And then release. Let's check it out on the other side. Lifting our left leg away from the earth, bending at our knee, interlacing those fingers, wrapping them around the shin just below our knee, and then lifting and hugging that knee in towards our chest. And then perhaps we rotate through that ankle as well over here. And then we release. So we're gonna do another stretch. I'm just gonna turn my body so that way you can see it from a different angle. Let's step our right foot back and behind us, not too far back. Our toes are gonna be pointing forward, and we're trying to press our whole foot into the earth. What we should be feeling here is a little bit of a stretch at our calf muscle, so right here, and our Achilles, so right down here. And if you're not feeling that, feel free to walk it back a little bit. All right, stretch it on out. Keep the breath going. All right, and then we reset, and let's take it on over to the other side. The left foot goes back, toes pointing forward, finding a beautiful stretch on this side. And then back to start. All right, bring the hands to the waistline. Walk your feet together, nice and together. Let's draw our elbows back towards one another. So like this. This really helps open up our chest. And whenever I'm in this pose, I kind of feel like it's like a power posture. So I kind of begin to imagine my favorite superhero whenever I'm in this pose. So perhaps you do the same. You can think about your favorite superhero. All right, let's just keep the breath flowing, breathing in and out through our nose. Feeling the air enter and then leave the body. And while we're here, I invite you to just notice how you feel. Do you feel happy, joyful, brave, courageous, proud, excited, silly, playful? So think about how you feel and hold on to that feeling. And perhaps now I invite you to either think or say quietly how you're feeling. So for example, you could say, I feel happy. I feel joyful. So you can say that in your head or out loud, but nice and quiet. Let's breathe on in through our nose and out through the nose. Let's release. Bring your hands to heart. Bringing the palms together. Bow your head, chin towards the chest to get a nice little stretch in the back of our neck. First things first, I want to say thank you so very much for taking the time to join me here today. I really hope that this practice leaves you feeling refreshed and energized and like, I don't know, joyful. I'm really hoping so. Anyways, we conclude our practice together by saying namaste.